Well, hello scrappers. Welcome to Albuquerque. And welcome to Surplus City, one of my favorite places. Yes, I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sandia Mountains in the background. A little different from Florida. Anyway, I have done videos on Surplus City before, mainly for my electronics channel, because this is a great electronics surplus store here. But I also wanted to use my trip here to Surplus City to not only buy more electronics for my projects, but just to illustrate how, as a scrapper, the kind of stuff you ought to be looking for when you're out scrapping, out hunting for scrap. Stuff that you might not initially think of as value. You know, if you're primarily someone who's looking for aluminum and copper, or someone who's looking for electronics, or someone who's looking for steel. You know, there's a lot of crossover value in stuff. You know, don't limit yourself. Don't leave money sitting on the table. So we're going to go inside, and I'll show you some stuff in here and what I think of the value of it. Not like I can buy it here and make any money on it. No, because they're not a charity. They're not giving stuff away here. But they've got a lot of cool stuff here, and it's really great to illustrate what's available here and what kind of scrap has value. So let me go inside and show you, and then we'll go out in the back, in the big yard they've got out back that's just full of all kinds of stuff that's just, you know, mouth-wateringly luscious to a scrapper like me. So here's a whole wall of test equipment, basically floor to ceiling. HP, Tektronix, names I don't even recognize. And you know there's a lot of good stuff in here. A lot of gold, a lot of silver, platinum, palladium, copper, all that good stuff. I mean, they have it priced, you know, like pennies on the dollar are what this stuff costs new. But even so, you know, you couldn't buy it here and make a profit scrapping it out. But it certainly is intriguing to look at all this stuff and think, oh, if only I could find. But yeah, it's instructive. I mean, if you can find stuff like this, estate sales, garage sales, better yet, a dumpster. You know, this stuff has a lot of value in it. A whole lot of value. This is what you need to be looking for. And around this way, there's more test equipment. Logic analyzers, oscilloscopes and stuff. My buddy Jim can tell you there's a lot of good stuff inside old oscilloscopes. He's torn them apart. Here we've got a whole bunch of relays. They just go on and on and on down this aisle. Relays, relays, relays. If you look at them, silver contacts. Silver contacts. Silver contacts. There's also copper wire and other stuff in there. But yeah. Again, it's very instructive. This is the sort of stuff you need to be looking for when you're scrapping out electronics. Silver contacts and relays, copper wire and relays, that sort of thing. Yep, the little ones too. It all adds up. And the big ones. So along the back wall of the store, they've got all these 19-inch racks full of rack mount equipment. And this is generally high scrap value stuff. If you can ever find 19-inch rack mount test equipment or whatnot, it's going to be full of good stuff. It's going to be well built. It's going to have a lot of copper in it. It's going to have a lot of gold. But some of them may just have some decent resale value as it is, too. Always look up the resale value on stuff. Like I say, they're not giving this stuff away. They know it has value. And you always need to check out the value on the stuff you find, too. before you start tearing into it with a screwdriver and a pair of pliers, just to get the copper and the gold and the silver out of it. Okay? You might find that you get something like this. It may be worth a whole lot more money as a whole working unit, or even a whole broken unit, than just as the sum of its parts when you tear it apart. So keep that in mind. Always look and see what you can resell stuff for before you totally scrap it out. So let's have a look around the yard out back. It's a real scrapper's paradise out here, with a lovely view of the Sandia Peaks in the background. But let's have a look around. You know, us scrappers were, at least if you're like me, you're always looking for the stuff that's got a lot of gold and silver and other precious metals in it. Maybe stuff that's easily resellable. But you know, if you come across easy, free steel, don't walk away from it. I easily make as much scrapping out steel as I do everything else, okay? Yeah, you may only get 8 or 9 cents a pound for it at the scrapyard. You're going to have to haul tons of it, literally tons of it, to the scrapyard to make any kind of money. But really, I make as much money on this as I do everything else combined, the steel. Don't ignore the steel. You see old file cabinets, you see old refrigerators by the road, you know, buildings that are being cleared out, businesses going out of business, throwing away these file cabinets and whatnot. It's easy money. It's easy money. Just pick them up, take them to the scrapyard. You don't have to do anything to them. Just take them straight to the scrapyard. It's easy money. Don't leave money on the table. Don't walk away from it. Batteries. Batteries. Now that's something else I think a lot of people overlook the value in. It's not hard to find a lot of discarded lead-acid batteries. Most people don't know what to do with them. Well, most scrapyards will buy lead-acid batteries. They're quite lucrative. So collect every one you see and take them to the scrapyard. You'll make some money. So I might be preaching to the choir a little bit here, but light fixtures. These old Cobra head street light fixtures, old building wall pack fixtures. You know, a lot of places they're upgrading to LED lights, and these old Cobra heads and other fixtures are just getting thrown out. You might see them in a pile of scrap. You might see them in a dumpster. And, well, I'll tell you what, there's value here. A lot of value. First off, the shells are aluminum. Okay. There's some more aluminum on the inside. There's electronics back there with transformers and capacitors and lots of wire in there. So there's value in that. But I'll tell you, you might be missing some value that's not obvious. The glass. The glass on these things. The glass alone can be resold. You might even be able to resell the whole fixture, you know, as a unit. But certainly, if nothing else, the glass is resellable. Because people need replacement glass for their light fixtures because of, well, you know, weather, idiots with BB guns, whatnot. The glass gets broken. And it needs to be replaced. And new original equipment, very expensive. Used glass, you get it for free. You could sell it for a fair amount of money. So keep that in mind. Light fixtures. There's value in them. Well, here's some more steel. This would make you a pretty penny at the scrapyard. But, oh, look at this. We're getting a little better over here. Better than just steel. We've got medical equipment over here. Computed sonography. I imagine an ultrasound machine. And I imagine this is just loaded with electronics that contain gold, silver, platinum group metals, and who knows what else. Probably lots of copper. Looks like a nice sturdy metal chassis. Value in that. Yeah, medical equipment. It's usually very well made, built to be reliable. It'll have a lot of gold in it. So, yeah, if you can find medical equipment, that's a great thing to pick up when you're out scrapping. Look for, like, doctor's offices and clinics that have gone out of business. You know, sometimes they just throw everything in an open top dumpster. So keep that in mind. Medical equipment. All kinds of industrial equipment. All kinds of industrial equipment. A lot of ovens. And just who knows what some of this stuff is. Now again, you know, it's gonna be full of electronics. It's gonna have precious metals in it. Oh, look at this thing. Bus interface test fixture. All the switches, all the connectors. I can't really tell, but I'll bet this thing is just loaded with copper wire and all kinds of electronics with all kinds of precious metals in it. So, you know, you see something like that, definitely grab it. It's also in a 19-inch rack, so like I told you earlier, 19-inch racks are like money. But yeah, there's all kinds of industrial equipment here. And now I'm not looking for anything I can buy and sort of flip for a profit here. Well, I'm just sort of looking around to sort of give you some idea of what, if you see it out in the wild, you might want to pick it up, even if it's not in your usual wheelhouse scrap-wise. So you're a guy who does aluminum or copper or steel or electronics. But there's, you know, all kinds of potential here. If you see this stuff beside the road or sticking out of an open-top dumpster or something. All kinds of potential. Comes from all kinds of businesses. And these people, you know, they they have all this stuff back here. And, you know, some of this stuff has trees growing out of it. It hasn't moved in forever. I mean, they don't have a price to move. They don't mind holding on to it until somebody comes along who can either buy it for, I don't know, this stuff's been sitting outside so long, I doubt it could be refurbished. But it makes great props for sci-fi films, a lot of this stuff. Yeah. Really great props. A lot of this stuff can be refurbished enough to be, you know, in a mad scientist's laboratory or, you know, on a spaceship in a cheap sci-fi film. So that's a little sideline for them. Now, like I said, I'm not necessarily looking around the yard here or even inside for anything that I can buy as a bargain that maybe I could refurbish and flip or something like that. But interesting rollers. But you never know. There could be something out here that is very valuable that I know what it is, but they don't. And they might just have it priced like per pound for scrap value. So I've always got to look, because a few times I found good stuff out here that, you know, they just saw as scrap value. And I saw, oh, that's a great little piece of equipment that either I can use myself or I can refurbish and resell for a lot of money. But to them, it's just scrap. So I've got to look around these aisles here and see if I can find any more deals like that. But I shouldn't talk too loud because there's a couple guys working out here in the yard. And I don't want them to know that I might be hunting for a bargain here. Shelving. Metal shelving. Every business that closed down, relocates, or downsizes or resizes, just about every one of them throws out metal shelving. You know, these metal grids are shelves. And you got racks that the shelves go on. So, you know, this stuff it's basically just money sitting here. If you see this stuff out in the wild, somebody's discarding it, don't walk away from it. Pick it up. It's worth it. So here's a good illustration of some money you might be accidentally throwing away while you're scrapping stuff out. You're pulling apart computers, electronic equipment, whatnot to get the get the precious metals out of it, you're going to be leaving a lot of screws laying around. Don't just throw them in the garbage. Throw them in a bucket. And it'll add up over time. And you can just take that bucket with you to the scrapyard with your steel and dump it. You know, and it's a few extra bucks. Like I said before, don't leave money laying on the table. Just keep your screws and fasteners that you're taking stuff apart, and just throw them in a bucket and take them to the scrapyard with you. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this quick visit to Surplus City and look around. I didn't harp on the electronic stuff this time. I tried to make it a little more interesting for you scrappers on this channel. So I hope it was interesting to you. I hope you found it useful. If so, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to see my future videos. There'll be more. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this one. Bye.